Okay, here are a couple of challenges. The first challenge is find out if a number is positive, negative, or zero. Print it on the screen. Okay, it's a simple program, right? So say number equals 9. You could let the user enter it if you want, but I'm just taking a number. Okay, if number greater than 0, print positive, right? If number less than 0, print negative. What else? Otherwise, print 0, right? If number equals 0, print 0, right? Let's execute this. It's positive, right? Number is 9. What if you put it as 0? Execute. Number is 0. What if the number is minus 1? It should print it as negative, right? That was simple enough. The next challenge is, say you have the ages of 3 students, all different ages, say 3, 5, 7. Find out which of the students is the oldest. Let's look at this. Say you have 3 students. 1, 2, 3. If he is 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, how do we find out which of the students is the oldest? First thing is, we say if the first student is greater than the second student. Is 3 greater than 5? No, that is not true. Then do something. Let's say if it is not, so this could be either a true or a false. True, false. If it is true, let's do something. If it is false, then that means that 2 is the bigger one. The second student is the bigger one. So verify if 2 is greater than 3. So this is the first condition. This is the second condition. If 2 is greater than 3, if it is true, then 2 is the biggest. If not, then if it is false, then 3 is the biggest. Now what happens if 1 is greater than 2 is true? That means 1 is bigger than 2. Okay. Now is 1 bigger than 3? If it is true, then 1 is biggest or older, else 3 is biggest. I'm using a wrong word here, big. You could probably use the word old or older. See, it requires 3 different conditions to be checked. The first condition is 1 greater than 2. The second condition is, depending on the true or false, is if 2 greater than 3. And the third condition is if 1 greater than 3. So depending on that, you can write or tell which of them is bigger, right? So let's actually write it in the system, okay? So how do you write it? Let's put these as student underscore 1, student underscore 2, student underscore 3, okay? 3 different variables. If student underscore 1 greater than student underscore 2, okay? If it is true, then we are looking at this particular path. If it is true, then if student underscore 1 greater than student underscore 3, this is the second level of check. If it is true, then we are looking at again this level, right? Then print student underscore 1 is the biggest, okay? So in this case, there are two possibilities. Else, okay, else meaning we are looking at this path. Else print student underscore 3 is the older one. Okay, so we have covered this part. Now we are going to look at this part. So else, and then underneath that we have to do another check. If student underscore 2 greater than student underscore 3, if it is true, meaning we are looking at this part, if it is true, then print student 2 is older, else there is only one other way, which is 3 is older, right? So the reason why we are doing this challenge is because you'll get to understand how to write nested if statements. So think of it like a decision tree. So if this is greater than 3, go here. Underneath that there is another set of if conditions, less than, greater than. Underneath that there is another set of if conditions, less than, greater than, right? So this decision tree is what we are representing here in code, right? Now there could be multiple ways in which you could do it. The one that I have written down just now is just one way. Now over here, see, there is another way of doing it. There is one set of if-else statements, and then there is an elif statement, and then there is an else statement. Essentially, the way you construct that tree that we have shown here could be different. For example, if you ask the question if 2 greater than 1 at this point, these checks would be different here, right? It all depends on what is your first question, and then what is the subsequent question will be based on what your first question is, right? So try it on your own. You could probably end up with a different solution. And these are not the only ways of doing it. For example, you could put all of them in a list and use some kind of a sorting solution. That could work as well, right? So the one that we are doing now is just one of the possible solutions.